My name is Leia Ruales, and Group 3 is here in CB Bangoy Senior Elementary School. We are here to conduct an interview with a grade 1 teacher, Mrs. Laardi Cardenas, on the topic on becoming a global teacher. And now let's go to the different parts of the school.
We interview Mrs. Laardi Cardenas, the grade 1 teacher regarding global education. I'm Kristen Kaliga. I'm a Casella Education.
Good afternoon.
We have some questions regarding global education and global teacher. So our first question, ma'am, would be, what is global education? Our first question, ma'am, what is global education in your opinion?
Global education, when we say global education, I think this address to the programs or the curriculum that can compete globally. Like for example, the K-12 program. This was an issue months ago or a year ago that many parents are not in favor of K-12 because their children will have another 2 years in education. But I think Philippines is the only country that had been left behind because of the system of education that is only up to grade 10. So now at this time, they added two more years for the Philippines to compete with the other countries. And then global education also, it promotes positive values and it assists students to take responsibility for their actions and to see themselves as global citizens who can contribute to a more peaceful, just, and sustainable world. And I think also if students are engaged in this global education, they would be more globally competitive someday. Okay, I think that's it.
Okay, Mom. What are the characteristics of global teachers?
Characteristics of global teachers. Number 1, a teacher must be knowledgeable enough of the topic or the idea. They have stored more ideas on the topic that they will present or they will give to the students. Okay, another is engaging students in learning about the world and in exploring their place in it. Okay, another one, they must be ICT equipped. Okay, ICT is information and communication technology. So for the students to be able to understand clearly the topics that the teacher is being presented, teachers must use projectors, and we know also that students now are engaged in gadgets. So a teacher can also use gadgets for her and for the students to get or to understand ideas that are being presented. So pwede din sila magamit ng anong tawag yan? Mga objects like concrete objects, I mean, that they can use for the students to understand more and clearly for the teachers to deliver the topics that has been presented. Okay.
In your opinion, what country has been the best, has the best education?
Okay. I have not been to other countries, but I think it is, for me, in my opinion, it is the Philippines that has the best. Is the best country that is the best education, because I think aside from, I know the flow of education in the Philippines, Filipinos can compete globally. Like, for example, they can communicate through English language everywhere in other countries. Like, for example, if they are dealing with business, so pwede sila makakompete through English language. Kasi yung ibang countries like Korea, China, hindi sila marunong mag-English. So I think Philippines is the best country. And then there are also many Filipino teachers that are teaching English subjects in other countries.
Okay, ma'am. What are the challenges of being a global teacher?
Okay, so as a global teacher, we have many challenges, or as a global teacher, it has many challenges. Especially nowadays that most students are engaged in many gadgets. So, marami kang kalaban. Isa na doon yung mga gadgets. Kasi yung mga gadgets makahinder yan sa kanilang studies. Makahinder at the same time, makatulong naman. Pero mostly, makahinder talaga, especially sa young age, students who are in young age. Okay, tapos, being a global teacher, it presents many challenges, no? Not only do you need to know multiple languages to be able to communicate with your students, but you also need to be aware of the customs of your students in order to avoid conflict. And then another thing is you have to know the traits or characteristics of your students individually, so that you will know what are the lessons or the or what level of the lessons you are going to give to them. Like, for example, there are students who are fast learners, and then there are also slow learners, and then there are also average learners. So, if your students are fast learners, you have to give them anong tawag yan? You have to give them enrichment activities. And then for the slow learners, you have to give them topics that are suited to their level. And then also for the average learners, topics that are not really difficult or hard and not also easy for them, but topics that are average and suited also to their level. Okay, that's it.
For that now. And do you have any idea what is the teacher exchange program?
Okay, so there are a lot of programs under this, I think. But the main goal is to improve the quality of education in many countries, including our country, the Philippines.
Thank you. For that, ma'am, for the exchange program, what is the goal of a teacher?
Okay, so there are many goals. No, when we say goal of teachers in exchange programs, actually there are many goals. So I will give some examples, like they must support the strategic retention objectives and directions of the department. That is one. Second is they have to enhance Western Australia's educational profile, interstate and overseas. And then another one is also the education system, and then contribute to the enrichment of participating host schools. So I think those are some of the goals of Teachers Exchange Program.
Do you also know the benefits
Okay, for the benefits, one is they are going to experience learning about different education systems. For example, a teacher will have the chance to go to other countries, so the curriculum or the system there is also different. So, but that teacher, he can get the benefit by learning the education system of that particular country. Okay, another one is developing professionally by exchanging ideas and knowledge. Okay, next one is they have to broaden educational horizons through a global perspective.
For us, we aspiring teachers, do you have any advice for us?
Are you teaching what level?
High school.
High school.
But
Okay.
in general,
In general. This time I am teaching elementary level, then you will teach high school level. There is really a difference. Especially one is the attitude of the students, and then the curriculum. That in high school level the curriculum is quite difficult, but anyway you can learn the curriculum. The advice that I can give is you should be more knowledgeable on the topics that you are going to impart to the students, because high school students are full of questions. They will ask questions like you cannot answer the questions by yes or no. They will address you questions like maths questions or higher order thinking skills questions. So advice one, you should be more knowledgeable. Second, attend seminars or programs that will help you professionally in your field. And then third, communicate with your co-teachers, ask ideas, and then or share ideas. Surely you can get more ideas to your co-teachers, especially those who are more experienced. And then fourth, research in the internet. I think that is one of the best ways. Research the internet, and then I think that's all. Research the internet.
Thank you, love, for sharing.
Okay, thank you.